Military school background. On May 15, 1779, Napoleon entered cadet school, studying for 5 years until he entered École Militaire, which he graduated from at 42nd in his class. In 1793, the National Convention issued a levy en masse that conscripted all French citizens to help with the war effort. Everyone had a job to do to help the war effort, which included farming, manufacturing, and fighting. Napoleon's coronation took place on Sunday, December 2nd, 1804 at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Napoleon designed the ceremony himself, incorporating many different customs from throughout France's history. A plebiscite is a vote by which the people of a country express their opinion for or against an important proposal. Napoleonic artillery strength. The artillery would station themselves in front of an oncoming attack, and at long range fire round shots parallel to the ground at chest height. This allowed the shot to bounce and roll through the enemy ranks, which caused immense damage. At short range, artillery used case shots, which fired many small projectiles, which also inflicted massive damage.
The Napoleonic Code gave post-revolutionaries of France's first coherent set of laws. It was passed in 1804, and it gave the authority of men over their families stronger, deprived of women's individual rights, and reduced the rights of illegitimate children. The laws applied to every country Napoleon controlled in Europe and in South America. Napoleon's civil service reforms of the law took France's legal system that had no equal rights to where he had equal rights for everybody except for women and blacks. He also put the government in firm control into the national government. In that way, it became more efficient. And then with the education, Napoleon built more schools for boys of ages 10 to 16 and recognized the importance of education for filling positions in the barracky and the military. Louisiana still encompassed of 530 million acres of territory in North America that the United States was purchased from France in 1803 for $15 million. The treaty was made on April 30th and signed on May 2nd. In October, the U.S. Senate ratified the purchase, and in December of 1803, France transferred authority over the region to the United States. Russia, Great Britain, Austria, Portugal, the Ottoman Empire, and the Kingdom of Naples formed a colonial against the French in 1798. Napoleon defeated Great Britain, all of them, but could not defeat Russia when they invaded with 500,000 men, but had to retreat because of the cold weather.
Napoleon tried to invade Spain on his way to try to force Portugal to close their ports to Britain as part of his continental system. Spain rebelled and majorly crippled Napoleon's power. The continental system was doomed from the start. It was impossible to pull off. It required the people to face hardships for long periods of time. Also, Napoleon could not stop British goods from being smuggled in due to his weak navy. His system failed because he did not have the support to execute it. Lord Nelson and the Royal Navy spotted 33 French and Spanish ships ready to engage. He split his 27 ships into 2 divisions. In 5 hours of fighting, 19 French and Spanish ships had been taken down, but no British ships had been taken. 30 minutes before the battle ended, Lord Nelson had been shot by a French sniper. Nelson's last words after being informed that victory was imminent were, "Now I am satisfied. Thank God I have done my duty." In 1810, the Tsar of Russia stopped complying to Napoleon's continental system. He gathered an army from all across Europe, adding up to 450,000 soldiers to invade Russia. His plan was to win a quick victory and force the Tsar to negotiations. However, the Russians abandoned their cities and burnt their buildings and crops to deny the French materials. Napoleon's army was already getting weaker from starvation and disease. By the time they got to the capital of Moscow, it was already in flames. The Tsar waited until winter, knowing the French could not survive long in the cold.
Napoleon escapes Paris due to lack of military support and renounces his throne, resulting in him being exiled to Elba by European powers. After 11 months, he returned with an army to return him to his throne. His return caused Louis XVIII to flee the capital, and it also resulted in Napoleon's 100 Days, which is a series of battles in Napoleon's final phase of rule. Napoleon's 100 Days included the Battle of Waterloo against the Prussians, but Napoleon was defeated by the Duke of Wellington, ending the Napoleonic era. To prevent Napoleon from ever returning, he was exiled to St. Helena, a barren island in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean. He died there at age 51, most likely by stomach cancer.
Napoleon was able to gain absolute control over France because the nation was just recovering from a famine and a revolution that had left the nation under the rule of a murderous tyrant that executed thousands of innocent people. The nation needed a strong leader, and Napoleon was in the right spot at the right time. His eventual downfall was due to his growing desire to conquer, which drove him to make bad decisions that cost him the trust of the people of France and eventually led to his exile to St. Helena.